Coach Sullivan here again with MJS Coaching Football. To my subscribers, I thank you, and to those who haven't yet, really hope you do. Just completed my 38th year coaching football when I was defensive coordinator, but over that time I've also been an offensive coordinator, special teams coordinator, longtime head coach, all of this at both the collegiate and high school levels. Today in this presentation, I want to talk to you about one of our Go Family blitzes, so non-subscribers, hit the button, that we call free go. That's our free safety, as we'll see. Okay? And then we also have a stick tag, so free go stick or just free go, and it's with our trio coverage. So again, non-subscribers, hit that button. Doesn't cost anything, and you can get access to all of this, okay? We're going to show it to you versus 11 and 10 personnel out of our base. And I don't mean the front, I just mean our base, meaning the rules as far as alignment, etc. And I'll give you enough non-subscribers to hopefully whet your appetite to push that button. So today, the key terms that I will bring to life over here in the 4 diagrams, okay? What we call C crash, that's the free blitz technique in this case. It's the free, okay? What we mean by spill bending cage, okay, that's a technique. So that's run to, run away, and pass. The Lucky Ringo's made by the free, and the Louis Rogers made by the whip. Okay, and hopefully confirmed by the free as well. What's meant by reduce? One word term, reduce. It means the DN call sides slanting B, nose is slanting A to the call, reducing the side, A and B, canceled out. Okay, that one word means all of that. The stick tag now, the defensive, the only people it affects, DN call side sticks A, which bumps the nose A away. Boom, done. What we mean by screw timing in the creep technique, okay? The timing to begin the creep technique. The free safety is moving toward the line of scrimmage, and so what are his landmarks? I'm going to incorporate all of that into this presentation. And then what happens when there's an attached outside linebacker, meaning on a tight end, and we just say, hey, free, make them right. So I got one scenario to show you all of that, which is consistent when the whip, non-subscribers, is the blitzer. Okay? So I'm going to do all the blitzing over here, the illustrations in green and combination of some black. All right? So first up, C crash. Okay? The whip. The free safety in this case, okay? He's on the right, so he makes the Ringo call. The whip makes the Louis Roger call. I will show that with you in due time, and that's the only thing I'm going to do with the coverage trio. So again, non-subscribers, hit that button. Okay, so over here, it's what we call two removes. So there's a detached outside linebacker. So now, let me first talk about what the C crash technique is and how it builds in landmarks and all those good things. Okay? So we're actually going to start down here now with the screw timing and the creep technique. That'll be first. Then the C crash, followed up by the spill bending cage, okay, which will also bring in the reduce, okay? And then over here, specifically in one diagram, I'll talk to you about when there's an attached outside linebacker, okay? So first up, right, the screw timing. He's coming from 12 yards, right? This is one back. 11 personnel, 11 personnel, 10 personnel, 10 personnel. So, right? One back, one tight end, one back, no tight ends, okay? So the safety's feet are staggered, inside foot's up, okay? So let me talk about the timing. We call them snap indicators, okay? Especially in the one back, we get a lot of gun. Does he drop his hand like that? If so, that's usually when we start the creep. Lift his foot, clap or fake clap. Put his hands up. Just lean over and start a cadence, right? Any of those things. Is there a guard looking back? Taps the center. Well, the timing is we initiate the creep on any of those snap indicators. So you got to do lots of film study and pick up on it. Sometimes there's similarities from week to week. Sometimes there are major differences just from quarterback to quarterback on the same opponent. Okay, so you've got to do your studying. And if you don't have any film on a guy, you got to pick it up real fast. All right, assign one of your coaches to it. So now let's just assume that this is the snap indicator. So this happens. That initiates what we call the creep technique. So because his feet are staggered, okay, the creep technique, you move the up foot first, bring the back foot. Just like that. Because part of the blitz technique, when we get to it, involves the footwork. And that inside foot needs to be up. Big crossover, as we'll see. Okay, so that's the creep. Sometimes you got to speed up the creep. Sometimes you got to slow it down. Sometimes you're too fast. Sometimes you're too slow, right? So if you can nail the snap indicators with the timing, then you practice it up. And you'll never be off sides for this reason, the landmark. Okay? When it's an open end versus no tight end, no attached outside linebacker, we say we want you at, when the ball's snapped, level with the inside linebacker, so you're at 4 or at the heels of the defensive end. Somewhere in there, you'll never be offsides. And you're seeing the football the entire way. So that's the landmark. So we want him in this range when the ball's snapped. Okay? So that takes care of this. Now we're up to here, the C crash. Ball snapped. What we call dig and crossover. Dig and crossover. Okay? So I'm not going to write that up here, but the dig is off the front toe and crossing over the back foot. So we say as they're creeping, have the heel of that up foot off the ground slightly. So when the ball snapped, you're going to step with the back foot first, the crossover, and you literally pivot on the up foot. It's easy. These are safeties on top of it all. They're highly athletic. So this will not be hard for them to do. Okay? And so the first level aiming point is the butt of the tackle. Okay? Butt of the tackle. So now we're going to build in 3 and 4, spill, bend, and cage along with the reduce. Okay, first level is the butt of the tackle. Second level is what we say 1 yard in front. And in this case, when he's in the gun, it's the quarterback. Okay, your first priority is run to you. You spill it. Okay, this is orbit. And even if it wasn't, if it were sky, okay, it's still a spill defender, which means if you don't make the tackle, you're going to force the ball east and west, east or west if you're on the other side. Okay, that's the spill. So spill is run to. Run away. Okay, by having you first level butt, second level yard in front, and just assume, right, the surface is moving away from you. You now bend and chase. You're a bend and chase guy when it runs away from you. And you'll see it and be able to pick this up easily. Not to mention we get drills. It doesn't take long. That's another presentation and playlist, non-subscribers. Okay? Don't ever ask your C crash defender, in this case the free, don't ever ask him to also take the boot of the quarterback. He won't be aggressive bending because he's too afraid. He's got to take the boot. Don't ever ask him to do it. That's a guy behind him. Okay, don't put him in conflict, we say. All right, so that's the bend for run away, and then this gets so messy quickly, right? Now that I'm going to go to the black. The butt of the tackle and the guard, they're showing pass. Well, that kicks our C crasher now into cage, which is contained. Speed rush. Make a move. You should be able to get around a big offensive tackle who's struggling to kick step and stay square and all those things. Okay? So that takes care of the pass. So you're either spill, bend, or cage. Okay? So if there was a two-back with a lead block, you'd run on it. Spill and pry. That's the other aspect of the spill. Okay? So now we've just taken care of 1, 2, 3. Now 4, the reduce. So let me just clean this up a little bit. So now the defensive line on the snap of the football. Okay, they're both using slant steps, which is pinching the guard, stepping at the hip of the guard. Okay, reducing, taking A and B out of the picture. With the free safety buzzing hard, C-gap right off the butt of the tackle. Okay, there it is. Right, there's your reduce. So then now, right, Roger on the snap, he creeps to get in a position of blitz. He doesn't move until the snap, and then he rotates middle. And that's all I'm going to say about trio non-subscribers. Push the button, boop. Okay. So there is free go. I'm going to share with you the stick in due time. Okay, we're not going to get to the stick yet. What I am going to get to now is we're going to have a situation where there is an attached outside linebacker, meaning versus a tight end. And we're going to show you how the safety, it's the free's job to make the rover right. The rover can't see what's behind him, but the free can see what's in front of him. And that's standard. That's how we do it. Third level can make the second level right, and the first level right. Second level makes the first level right. Okay. Defensive line, guys on the first level, in this case, outside line, but they love it. Because they get that illusion they can't be wrong. Well, but you know what I'm trying to say, right? All right, so here we go. We'll start the whole thing all over again, right? Freeze left. So he's saying, lucky Louie, lucky Louie. So now, here's the big change here. He's attached. To give him time, reaction time to help make the rover, in this case, right. Again, same creep, right, inside. Boom, boom. Everything stays the same. Now the landmark is even with your inside linebacker. So we want you at 4 yards when the ball's snapped. And here's why, okay? The outside linebacker, the rover, every single snap, boom, shooting hands, knocking back. I mean, it's a war. So what if, right? He's knocking back. What if it's a down block? So the technique, just we say he's ass and ankle and using the tight end to block the C gap. Right? Well, our rule is very simple. Same color jersey crosses your face, you exchange outside. So now the C crash is a little bit wider. We understand that, but nobody's going through the C gap either, because the tight end's body's there along with the rovers. Okay, so the rover doesn't worry about a thing. He does his job. Okay? So consequently, essentially the other scenario, right? I'm going to do the rover in black here, sorry. You get a little bit of a reach block. Okay? So now he's back to his C crash right off the butt of the tackle. Reduce the side, there it is. Okay, ball snapped. Rotate middle. In this case, we got a tempo bail. Tempo bail. Again, that's all I'm going to say about the trio coverage. All right, so that's how we, when the outside linebacker is attached versus the tight end, that's how this free, in this case, makes them right. The landmark is to be even at depth with your inside linebacker. That's 4 yards. So then on snap of the football, you're initially thinking you're going where he is here. But if the tight end and the outside linebacker close it down, then you exchange outside. That's it. Boom, done. As we understand, nothing's going through the C gap. He did it for you. Okay? Everybody got that? So now the stick. The only thing that changes, so if we did the stick tag, So this was free go stick. The end call side, who's the end because it's lucky. He's always left. Sticks A, slants A away. There it is. Boom, done. Now I know programs call that a long stick. We never do. We try and cut down on unnecessary verbiage. The only time we do a two-gap move is it's called the stick. In this case, it's going in. We do two gaps out. We stick out and in, depending on the scheme. So this is a slant. That's we don't ever use the long stick. Okay, in case anybody's wondering. So took care of that. So see, here we are. Now I'll just show it to you versus 10, and then I'm going to go back and encapsulate why I've shown this to you out of base. All right, so here now 10, right? 4 wide receivers, Detroit. 2x2, doubles. Non-subscribers, push the button. Okay, so this is a Liz. Again, same thing, push the button. Why it would be a Liz? We're in the middle of the field. Freeze left, he says, lucky it's Louis. We start the creep, right? So no attached. There's your landmark for when the ball snapped. So he creeps, ball snapped. There it is. All right, ball snapped. There it is. And on the next one, I'm going to do it with a stick tag. Okay, so 3x1, because we're in base, I'll give you this. This is what we call auto overhang, which means both outside linebackers are on the same side in trips. Okay. Same deal, creep, same landmark area for the takeoff. We're here, ball snapped, he's off the edge, stick A, slant A away. There it is. Rotate middle. Okay. So this is really, really good versus one backs for this reason out of base. First of all, you got the too high versus everything. That allows you to blitz safeties, and you have a safety who can rotate with them, right? They spin together at the end of the day when the ball's snapped, right? Spinning together, spinning together, spinning together, right? That's on purpose, obviously. But with base, we got minimum box numbers, right? So this was a 6-man box plus 1. Now it's a 7-man box. So it's a whole different thing for the offensive line. If it's a run scheme, they've got everybody accounted for. And all of a sudden, you blitz the 7th man in the box. He wasn't supposed to be. He wasn't there when we had this figured out. Or same thing for protections. He wasn't there, part of the protection. Now everything gets screwed up. Same thing over here. It went from a 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus 1 to a 7-man box. Again, same thing. By blitzing and adding the safety to the box like this, it puts more stress on either the run scheme or the protection. Here, again, we're in base, right? Light box. 5-man. Plus 1, now you became a 6-man box. When you show a 6-man box, the run scheme picks it up. The protection picks it up. When you creep to it like this and blitz adding the man in the box, it's a whole different animal if you're the offense. Okay? Again, over here, it went from a 5 plus 1 to a 6-man box. And honestly, offenses kind of expect and anticipate you're going to blitz the weak side safety. Kind of catches them sometimes when it comes from the 3 receiver side. And these guys are all looking in, so part of the creep's not just the snap indicator. We got to make sure all the receivers are looking in, because if you show it too soon, offenses have alerts and they got everything counted for that you just blew your opportunity to spring the plus 1 on them. And that's why our other safety never moves until the ball's snapped. If he moves, that gets the quarterback thinking the other guy's moving, right? So he stays put, okay? So as I said at the beginning, to my subscribers, I thank you, and I hope I made the point here. The non-subscribers, all I do is push the button. It doesn't cost you a thing. You have access to everything. To everyone, I hope you reach out to me at coachmjsullivan@gmail.com for any questions, because it's starting to happen more. And every time it does, I learn something too, and that's a benefit for both of us. So please reach out to me so we can all learn some more football.